Hello, ninth grade learners. Welcome to your launch for week 17, and the subject is getting all work done before the winter break. As you might already know, our break begins this Friday, December 22nd, and it lasts until January 2nd, Tuesday, 2018. That's going to be something to wrap your head around, 18 years into this new millennium. I do want to let you know, however, that I will be leaving a little bit before our break starts, as I have a flight on December 21st. And after this Wednesday, I will not be available to approve content assessments or do Google Hangouts and chat. But I will be back on Tuesday, January 2nd. So let's see, what do you need to do before we go on winter break? Well, I'm seeing that some of you are really good and all caught up, but I have 8 ninth graders who have not completed week 15. 2 weeks ago, we were to do a Summit survey. This was sent out by the people from Summit from California. They want to know how you're doing. So 11 of you are done. Congratulations to those who follow directions and mark off as done. But I'm concerned that 8 of you did not do this. So here are the names of students who need to go back. Maybe you just started, but I still would like you to go back and complete the survey and mark it off as done. So let's go back here and see what we have. Week 15, week 16, I have 7 people that didn't do this. This was a Google form. 12 of you did. Thank you very much for the ones who did. For the ones who didn't, I know some of you just started, but others have been here for a while, and this should have been done. Please do it now and mark it off as complete, because that was another Google form on your progress. Okay, so now this week, hopefully you'll get this done, marking this off. I have 19 of you now in 9th grade, but I would like you to watch this video, which you are right now, and after you're finished, to make a classroom comment on how your progress is coming along. I have a sample for you about my progress. I'm feeling pretty good that I've been working every day. How about you? I can't help but worry, however, 9th grade, that there are some of you that are really letting time go by, and you're making things harder on yourself. As you see, we're almost to the middle of the year. 2018 is coming up. We end in May. This learner has a lot to do, and again, making it much more difficult on themselves by not keeping up with this blue line. And because of that, if they don't catch up by the end of the year, they might end up in summer school. So how can they catch up? Well, I'm trying to make it much easier for you. I see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 focus areas in just English that this particular learner needs to catch up on. Completed a project in English and has this project to finish, which is due on December 21st. I hope this learner can get moving, and I'm going to see what I can do to help learners like this one move on. As I return to the Google Classroom, I have put study guides in the About page. If you go over here and click About, study guides for the focus areas for 9th grade are right here. This could really, really help. If you open these up and you'll take a look, there are questions from the test right here. All the questions are from the test. Now this one does not have the answers. This would mean that you would have to go through and find the answers for yourself. But it would really help if you haven't passed this content assessment or the 5 other content assessments, to print these out and look for the answers while you're studying in the focus areas, while you're looking through the resources. And you can highlight and then print this out and use it as an open book test. Wouldn't that be so much easier? Now, what else does this learner have to do? I'm glad to see that they have finished this project. That was due in the beginning of November, but they are still working on this project, which is due December 21st, Fact or Fiction. It was comparing things that are written for fiction, and there's 2 examples for this. and things that are nonfiction. And there's 2 examples for this. Where do you find the readings for that? Again, go back to Google Classroom, to the About page, and you'll see for fiction, there was this to read. It is an Agatha Christie, and this is great because you could listen to the story, you could print out the story, you could read it online. There's that, and a story that almost everybody knows at this time of year, A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. There's been so many movies made about this story, this book, this great novel. In fact, there's a movie out right now about this novel. There's a cartoon version, there's a Muppet version, there's so many versions, but this is the real story, only 5 chapters long. Really, really easy reading because you can have it read to you.
Chapter 1. Marley's Ghost. Marley was dead to begin with.
Okay, so you are taking those 2 and working in your Summit platform because you're going to be writing paragraphs about them, analyzing them. Now, there's also 2 nonfiction. That's also in the About page, the nonfiction one. One, TED Talk by Carol Dweck. She's somebody that we talk about a lot because she is the author of Growth Mindset. And another one that's really interesting about Australia social media. I thought that this was a nonfiction article and kind of really like the accent.
On RN. I'm Lynn Malcolm. Today, are we hooked on social media? And does it?
All right, so there's those 2 to read nonfiction. But what is the final product in this project? It's a letter to the educator, and we are not really sending it. However, you are writing a letter, and the educator could be anybody that you choose. It could be Dr. Maurer. It could be Governor Tom Wolf, who is our governor of Pennsylvania, or the Secretary of Education for Pennsylvania, Pedro Rivera. He's a really awesome guy. You could even write to Donald Trump if you feel like he is somebody who cares about education. We are not actually sending it, but it's practice to write a letter. We're working on letter skills. Because you are writing a letter to an educator, it needs to be 9th grade writing and not elementary school writing. There is a model of a business letter. What do they look like? It's over here. When you go to your outline, there's a model business letter. Look how they lay it out. This is kind of important to know. This is something that I've used quite a bit in my life, is writing a letter. When you apply for jobs, you have to write a cover letter, and you put your address and who it's to and the date, and the person that you're writing to will look at this letter. It's not just like a little friendly letter. This letter has 3 paragraphs in it, and because we're being scored on argumentative claim, they do have things that they're trying to convince that person about. And here is the closing. Just look how that is written. This is a typical business letter. So take a note how important this letter is. There are 10 cognitive skills you're being scored on. Does it have a central idea? Are you making a good case for your theory of what 9th graders should be reading or not reading? Are you backing it up with some evidence? That means you might have to do some research to prove what you're saying, and integrating that evidence into your letter. Preparing is part of the outlining. The norms and active listening, there is a score for this. We're not discussing this letter that much, but there'll be other times for norms and active listening. But conventions is important. You want a letter that is everything spelled correctly. Everything is in punctuated. Grammar is important because remember you are ninth graders, and I don't expect letters that look like fifth grade writing. So there you have it. Some of you are already done and are ready to start your winter break, but others have some work to do to catch up. Just know that you can work over the break if you want to. However, there will be no teachers to approve content assessments over the break until January 2nd. So this is a good time, if you're not caught up on projects, to do it over the holiday. So I hope you have a happy one and see you in 2018.